All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this, 2 weeks now before the convention. If you were with us last week, we went over resumes, and this week we are going to cover just how to conduct yourself before the convention. So, as always, Aunt Benet has graciously uh, given her time and talent to show us what we need to do at the convention to be successful and conduct ourselves properly. So, I will hand it over to her for the next hour. Take
Thank
it
you.
away.
Thanks, Grant. I appreciate it. I am Benet Wilson, known as Aunt Benet. In my day job, I am the lead writer for credit cards at Bankrate. And tonight, I am going to kind of walk through a little presentation to give you tips on how to be ready to go to the NABJ convention. And once I've finished with the presentation, I'm just going to open it up for your questions. But before I start my presentation, Grant, I'm going to ask you first, what was your first NABJ convention and why was it so memorable for you?
Mine was Vegas in 2022, and that was also the first time I did student projects. And that was why it was memorable because that was really my intro to journalism as a whole. I had just declared journalism as my major for school, so my first classes were that fall after the convention. And so I was really just getting my feet wet and just being exposed to all the new skills, all the people high up in the industry, and mentors who I still consider mentors today. It was just a wonderful introduction into the world of journalism.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. My first one was Indianapolis in 2006. I had not been an NABJ member previously, and my then boss, who was also my mentor, said the company is paying for you a full ride to go to the NABJ convention. And I didn't know anyone when I got there, but by the time I walked out of the building and got on my flight to go home, I had a family. So it is a magical, wonderful experience. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is all about some tips and things that I've learned from going to conventions for almost 20 years. And I hope that they help you. And like I said, at the end, I'll leave it open for questions. So my first one, ditch your friends. If you have friends who are journalists and you guys all want to hang out, this is not the time to do it. Say hello to them at the airport and then say hello to them when you're leaving the convention and going back home. Because your friends, as much as we love them, they're not going to get you jobs. You are there to find a job. You are there to network so that you can build the people that you know so that when it's time that you need a job, there will be people for you. I have built up my network, and my network is so good that the last time I applied for a job where I actually filled out an application and went through the entire process was 1992. And I'm betting none of you all were born in 1992. So do not underestimate the power of a good network. Next, please address your elders properly. We have NABJ founders. We have NABJ hiring managers. We have people who are legendary in this industry. Respect must be paid. So show that respect to your elders. Next, what I want you all to do as soon as we get off this call is download the NABJ app. The instructions are in your email. Check your spam filter because I found the instructions for the app and also the instructions to vote in my spam filter. Download the app. It is really good, very robust. You can look over all of the activities that are happening and you can add them to your own personal schedule. But most importantly, there is a list of exhibitors there. You need to know who's going to be there before you step foot on the plane because what I want you to do is look at the exhibitors list and also look at the attendees list and think about who you want to reach out to and start making appointments with people now. When exhibitors are in the exhibit hall, they get really busy, especially with some of the popular boobs like CNN, NBC, and ESPN. Those lines, even with appointments, are wrapped around the block. So see if you can take somebody out for coffee early in the morning. I do a lot of coffees early in the morning at conventions. See if you can catch up with them like during lunch while they're eating, maybe in the evening at the bar, at a reception. But, I'm not telling you not to go to the exhibitors hall, you should, but if you want to have quality time with people that can help you move the ball forward when it comes to your career and getting your next job, that now is the time to start making those contacts. Next, dress for the job that you want. I want you all to consider that this convention is just one big job interview. So, Um, that means we dress up. I'm not dressing up because this year I have been in this industry for 40 years. I am in the last job of my career and I don't care, but you all do need to care. And I know that, I don't want you to go out and buy an entirely new wardrobe. I am a thrifter. I can't tell you the last time I bought something new in a store. Everything that I will be wearing at NABJ, except for my part of my dress for Salute to Excellence, is stuff that I've bought in thrift shops and consignment shops. You can find some really great stuff. If you're lucky, it will still have tags hanging off of it. So you can do this, dress professionally, and not have to spend a small fortune. Okay. Stopped texting, stop scrolling on your phone, put it down, put it in your pocket, turn it off, and speak to people. I was at in Detroit, and there was a luncheon. I'll talk about the lunches and breakfast later, but we were sitting at a table, and there were 10 of us. Two of us, it was me and a gentleman sitting next to me, and the rest of the people at the table were students and young people. And every one of them had their phones, looking down at their phones. So talked to the gentleman sitting next to me. He's a recruiter for CBS News. So I said to everyone, put your phones down. And they're all looking at me. And I was like, no, I'm serious. Pass your phones over here. Give me your phones. And they all handed over their phones. I'm like, this gentleman is from CBS News. You all need to be talking to him about getting a job. And if you don't want to work at CBS, you should be talking to him and adding him to your network. You should only be using your phone to take notes or to scan QR codes for people's business cards or answering emergency calls. You need to focus on the people that are in front of you because if you're looking down at your phone, you don't know who's walking by. You don't know that person that just walked by you could be the person that changes the trajectory of your career. Next, make eye contact. I'm old school. I'm old school and I'm old. I grew up in an age where you respected your elders, you looked people in the eye when you were talking to them because it shows them that you are interested and engaged and want to hear what they have to say. And as part of that, I also want you to say thank you, offer a firm handshake with that eye contact after speaking with people. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. We have the best of the best in Black journalism that is going to be at this convention. And you want to come and put your best foot forward. And one of those ways you do that is by thanking people for their time and shaking their hand when your conversation is over. Don't be afraid to go and say hello to people you admire, but don't go overboard. What I'm saying is, you're going to see people that you see on TV, people that you read in the big publications. The playing field is level for everyone at NABJ. So you can go up and talk to anyone because this is the Black Journalism Family Reunion. So we are all colleagues, but we are also Black journalists Journalism family. And those of you who this is your first time, get that first time attendees ribbon because it is gold. People love to show the love to first time attendees. They want you to have the best experience. And when I had my first time attendee ribbon, it was the best experience. Have your 30-second elevator pitch ready. And when we finish this presentation, I am going to ask you to volunteer. I want to hear your 30-second elevator pitch because you never know when you're going to meet someone and want to have a conversation. You can literally be in an elevator. I have talked to people going up and down escalators. I have talked to people standing in line to get coffee. You never know who is in that line, who is around you, so know exactly how you're going to pitch yourself when you go to the convention. My pitch is I am a 40-year veteran journalist. I started my career on a typewriter and transformed myself into a digital journalist. I wrote about aviation for 26 years. I was the only Black woman and one of 5 people of color covering aviation exclusively. And I currently write about personal finance and credit cards for one of the oldest financial publications in the business at Bankrate. There we go. And I had 4 seconds to spare. Okay. Ask for business cards or contact information. I stopped using business cards back in 2022. I have an app called Blink, BLINQ. It is free. You can put up to 2 profiles. That QR code there is my actual QR code. So feel free to scan it and put me in your contacts. Because what you want to do is be able to keep up with people. If you get a business card, write on the back where you met the person and what you discussed. With Blink, it automatically puts the contacts that you connect with into your phone. And every contact in your phone has a notes section. You can go in there and type where you met the person and what you discussed. This is how you build your network. This is the start of it, or if you're still building, this is a continuation of that. So again, Blink. Another one that I use is called Hello. That's another free app. Or go do the business cards if you want, but have a way for people to get in touch with you. And on my Blink card, it's all my information along with links to all of my social media. And also, I do appointments for people who want to talk to me about careers or anything else. So there's a link to that too. Next, go to the happy hours, the receptions, the free breakfasts, and then lunches. Number one, it's educational, they can be fun, but most importantly, it's a great way to get free food and drinks. A lot of you are young, you've got your wallets are kind of tight, you want to be there. And plus, when you go to the breakfasts and lunches, you actually learn something. That's number one. And number two, you don't know who's sitting at that table. So you will introduce yourself to people sitting at the table. And again, it's another way to build up your network. Spend at least one night at the hotel bar and network. Even if you don't drink, when I go, a club soda with lime looks just like a gin and tonic. But you're going to see everyone hanging out at the bar in both of the host hotels. Go up there, talk to people, introduce yourself, start conversations. Don't be intimidated. Again, this is a professional conference, but it's also the Black Journalism Family Reunions. So reach out to people, say hello, make those contacts, build your network. Okay. Write and snail mail a thank you card to everyone you met at the convention. I take a pack of cards with me and I have stamps already on them. Every evening, I go through the cards that I got and I thank them for taking the time to speak with me. I remind them of what we spoke about and I ask them to please let's stay in touch going forward. It's rare for people to get thank you cards in the mail. So it makes you stand out. it makes people want to stay in touch with you. And you don't have to go crazy. You can just get, you can go to Dollar Tree and just get a pack of note cards. It does not have to be anything fancy. I have an address stamp, so I address them before I leave, and I put my postage stamps on them. And then in the morning after I've written everything, I take it to the front desk and have them drop it in the mail. So by the time people get home, they have thank you notes and they will remember. Okay. I want you all to have fun. I mean, this is a professional conference, but you should have fun too. There are lots of evening events and receptions and everything. But what I will say is don't have too much fun. There is such thing as having too much fun. I have seen people get sloppy drunk at the bar. I have seen people get into fights. I have seen late night, early morning walks of shame. No, not trying to shame anybody, but it's not a good look. And the reason why is you don't know who's walking around. You don't know who sees you. And people talk. It's just, it's part of the experience. They talk. So just conduct yourself, enjoy yourself, but, don't go overboard. Okay, now I put this in here because I know that there are introverted journalists. I am not one of them, but I know that going to a convention can be very stressful and intimidating. I am the sister of an introvert, so I understand and I feel your pain. So these slides are for you. First, I want you to give yourself some grace. You know you're an introvert. You know that you're coming to this convention and that it's a big deal, but you can only do what you can. So give yourself some grace and don't stress yourself out. Okay. Line up one-on-one meetings. You're better doing one-on-one or small groups. So do that. This is your way of also building up your network and meeting people where they are and not being overwhelmed. Okay. Force yourself out of your comfort zone. It can be uncomfortable, I know, but we're only there from the 6th through the 10th. You can do this. You can get through it. And when you get home, you can do what I do and just compress or in the evenings when you go to your room, you can compress because I do know it's a lot. It's a lot for me, even as an extrovert. So I can only imagine what it's like for introverts. Set reasonable goals for yourself. Don't try and do everything because you're never going to get it all done and you're just going to stress yourself out. So, think in these next 2 weeks about the goals that you want to achieve at this convention, and everybody can do this. And then work it so that you achieve those goals. Okay. And it's always okay to call somebody up and ask for follow-up. You can email them, however you want to get in touch with them. If there's something that you wanted to say, if there's something you wanted to ask, anything that you want to kind of edify, you can do that. It's okay. Okay. So this is all of my contact information. I hope that you will feel free to reach out to me. And everybody knows that Aunt Benet is always good for a meal or any other help that you need at the convention. So I'm going to keep this up here for a few minutes, but if you've got some questions, go ahead. Just you can either type it in the chat or just get off mute and ask me some questions. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, I don't see any questions, so this is what I'm going to do. Eden Turner, who is my newest mentee. I want to hear your 30-second elevator pitch for the convention.
Hi all, can you hear me okay? I'm sort of in public.
No worries.
Okay, so here's my 30-second pitch. I'm currently the reporting fellow at the 19th News, which is a publication that focuses on stories that center marginalized communities, specifically women and LGBTQ plus folks. So far, I've done a lot of great work. I wrote a story about how Oh, this is great. You put me on the spot. Okay. I wrote a story about immigrants from Ukraine and how they are being impacted by the current Trump administration with their temporary protected status. I'm currently working on a story about an organization that focuses on Black women and helping them become first time homeowners in Baltimore. And in August, I'll be starting my upcoming role at the Nashville Banner as the enterprise reporter.
Okay, good job. Little more than 30 seconds, but still a good job. Okay, you know, Chanel, I'm coming after you next. Another 19th HBCU fellow. And then Christina, I'll answer your question. Go ahead, Chanel.
I I had a feeling this was coming. Okay.
FNA loves you.
Well, hi, I'm Chanel. I am an audience engagement fellow at the 19th currently. I'm based out of Kent, Washington, near Seattle. I love all things digital journalism, finding ways to connect the stories that matter most to people who need them and bringing it directly to them. I've had a lot of success with Instagram in creating stories that help people contextualize the world around them. I've done this with the new series I pitched and created called Surviving the News, which explains how journalists are processing the ongoing news cycle and how they continue to center their personhood based on an audience need for connection and relatability, which has been just so fun to work on. I'm still looking for my next role and am really excited to just talk more about all things audience and connection.
Okay, good job. Again, little over 30 seconds. You did it because I put you on the spot. So, Christina, go ahead. What's your question?
Hi there. My name's Christina J. Harris. I'm a reporter right now, MMJ in Mobile, Alabama. Just want to say thanks so much for putting this together. This is my first NABJ, so super nervous, but you just kind of wheeled it in and made it very straight to the point. And so I just want to say thank you first of all, and second of all, I wanted to ask. You had mentioned that you have pivoted away from using physical business cards. So I wanted to know, as a first time attendee, should I come with physical resume? Should I come with physical business cards? Or is the world kind of like shifting more towards, dot, blank? I've heard of, different of those other options as far as digital resumes, digital cards, etc. So just kind of wanted to be prepared and ask you what you think.
No, I think that's a great question, and it really is up to you. I I don't use business cards anymore because I've just gone digital. I think it's a good idea to have some paper resumes to hand out, but also on your Blink app or any of these apps, you can put a link to your resume. I like to kind of meet people where they are. So it really is up to you. So if you feel more comfortable with business cards, that's okay. People are still using business cards. And I would bring some paper resumes just in case, you just want to drop some off. But you can also, you can also put it on on any of the contact apps and do it that way.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I actually have one more question. So
Okay.
I wanted to ask, so as far as I'm actually getting the NABJ on that Thursday, first time I've been told I should have been there at the crack of dawn on Wednesday, but now I know for next time. So as far as signing up to meet with different recruiters and things like that, should I, as soon as I get boots on the ground, should I prioritize going to get in line to speak to those recruiters, or should I go to sessions? How do we kind of manage our time with that?
Okay, since you're coming in on Thursday, the first thing you need to do is go register because without your badge, you're not getting into the exhibit hall. So that's the first thing. If you all haven't downloaded the app, download it and look, Christina, and look at what is going on Thursday. If there are sessions that you need to go to, and then plan accordingly. And what I love about this app is you can create your own schedule and you can put in things that aren't so if you have an appointment, you can put it in on the app so it will show up. So you say, like you have an appointment with the recruiter at CBS, you can put that in there under the correct time. But like I said, I think you should start trying to reach out to people now and making appointments if you want to catch them outside of the exhibit hall, because people's attention spans are really short because they tend to have long lines. Not everybody has long lines, but for the people that you want to see, the lines will be longer. So you want to catch them outside of the exhibit hall so you can get some quality time.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Nate, you're next.
Hello, Ms. Wilson. Thank you again for all the information and all the things that you taught us. I'm a recent graduate from Oakland University, majoring in broadcast journalism. I'm looking for my first job. This is also my first convention, so I'm super excited. I just wanted to ask real quick about the thank you cards that you said that we should send out to the people that we talked to. Did
Yes.
you say that we should send them off through the front desk of our hotels?
Yeah, I address my cards. I already have my address pre-stamped, and I also have postage stamps on the card. So all I do is write out the note card on front of the envelope, fill out the person's name and address, and then I take them in the morning to the front desk because they have a mailbox, and then they'll
Yeah.
drop it in their mailbox so it can get sent.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay. Tamika Cody, I want to hear your 30-second elevator pitch.
Oh, why you put me on the spot, Aunt Vinay?
I didn't. You know that I was going to do this.
I
I've already done
know,
three
I know.
people. You know I
Thank you.
love
I
you.
appreciate it because I need the practice anyway.
Yes.
So I'm a multi-platform journalist and a visual storyteller with more than 10 years of experience across broadcast, digital, and podcasting. I produce everything from enterprise investigations to culturally rich features. And right now I'm freelancing as a satellite media producer and video editor, while I'm also working on passion projects about food, identity, and midlife stories that move people. I'm always open to I'm always open to on-camera work and content partnerships and projects across the board.
Girl, you nailed that.
Thank you. I've been
3 seconds to
practicing.
spare.
I've been practicing. So
Good.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you'll be ready when we're in Cleveland, okay?
Yes, yes, yes.
Any questions? Any more questions?
You know, I just finished listening to the YouTube freelancing thing that you guys did last month for NAB, right? And so so I'm a freelancer, as you guys just heard. And one of the things I was just a little bit taken aback by, because I'm brand new to this freelance thing. I've been underemployed for a year. You know the story, you know, everybody has almost the same story. And I was just like, well, when did you get to start picking up momentum, right? Because, you know, a year, I sat back, took time to just reset because I had been ripping and running for, a little more than 10 years. And I'm like, I just need a break from news, etc. But now I'm getting back into the thick of things. And I'm just like, okay, how do I stay consistent? How do I remain consistent and make those freelance connections, etc.? And that was something that I wanted to ask if I was on the live call for the YouTube freelance conversation from a month ago. So that's my question.
It is a very good question. I don't need to tell any of you that journalism is under fire. In September, I will have been in this business for 40 years, and I have seen everything, and I have never seen the industry looking like this. And there are a lot of people who feel like eventually we're all going to be freelance journalists. I was a full-time freelance journalist for 2 years, and I've been freelancing part-time since 2011. Tamika, what I will tell you is that, part of half of your job is doing your actual job, and the other half is pitching yourself and marketing yourself to people who will pay you to do this work. And it's a lot. I am not going to sugarcoat it or lie to you. I spent a lot of time doing that, and it was painful because I'm an extrovert, but I wasn't used to having to pitch myself and, getting people on the phone or by email and they're telling me no, no, no. And then one little thing happened. I got this visual in my head. At the time, my child was 11 years old. And I got this visual in my head of my child saying, "Feed me, mommy." And that was enough. That was what it took for me to just kind of hunker down and just start. I called it dialing for dollars. I would spend 2 days a week going through all of the clients and reaching out to people and networking. And I had it a little easier because I covered aviation, so I had a reputation, and people reached out to me because they knew I had a level of expertise that they could not get in other places. So I had that little leg up, but it was still not easy. So, all I can tell you is, keep plugging away. The Institute for Independent Journalists is a great resource, and I'm very proud to be a board member of the organization. They have a lot of free resources. We're actually doing a networking reception on Thursday in Cleveland. So if you're a freelancer or you're interested in freelancing, please come by. We would love to meet you and help you out any way we can. And that's all open to all of you. So
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And for the record, I am signed up for that networking event, so I'm on top of it.
good. I will see you there. I'm gonna reach out to my cousin, Kaylin Wilson, for her elevator pitch. You're on, Kaylin, cousin.
Hi, my apologies for joining late. I will try to give my best pitch that I can.
I believe in you. Go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Kaylin Wilson. I am based in Yorktown, Virginia. I'm a freelance videographer, photographer, and video editor. And I have a master's degree from Temple University in media studies production. So I like doing researching in tech, media devices, and animation and documentary film.
Perfect. Love it. Good job.
Thank you.
Do you have a question? Do you have a question?
No, I don't have any questions currently, but my mother, Karen Yuri Wilson, says hello.
Tell her I said hello too. We Wilsons have to stick together.
We sure do. Love you.
And Kaylin, look for me at the conference, okay?
Oh, will do. And I'll probably be reaching out as well for any other convention prep things you have to share. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Oh, Deirdre has a question. Oh, how do you sign up? Oh, yes. Let me grab that. Oh, goodness, I should have had that up and I apologize. But while I am grabbing that, Grant, I'm going to hear your elevator pitch next.
Right now?
Yeah, right now you're on.
All right. So I'm currently a desk assistant at NBC News's DC bureau. I have experience in broadcasts and doing long form interviews. Right now, I'm currently seeking a position to be on the producer track at the network locally here in DC. And I will be seeking that in about 6 months. How was that?
Okay, you got it. All right.
Yay.
I have dropped the link for the Institute for Independent Journalism reception. You just have to RSVP. Hope to see you all there. Again, free food and drinks and networking opportunities. So, where is Sabrine? Hi, Sabrine. Another of the fellows from the 19th. I'm ready for your elevator pitch.
Hello.
Hi.
I don't have much rehearsal with this, so
I know.
yeah,
That's why we're doing it now.
But my name is Sabrine Dawood. I'm currently a reporter for the 19th News, and a recent graduate of Howard University's journalism program, and I'm based in the DC area. Just currently looking for any reporter positions. I'm open to a variety of beats, but particularly interested in covering social issues, sports, education, and things of that nature. Yeah.
Good. And you were under your 30 seconds. That is good. All right. Who else hasn't done one yet? I see you, Jada Kirkland.
Hi,
Hey.
I'll go. My name is Jada Kirkland. I'm a producer at WXII in Winston-Salem. Before I took this job, I worked as a part-time producer in Columbia, South Carolina. While I love producing, my ultimate goal is one day work as a documentarian or special projects producer because I love editing and I love talking to people and I love long form content. So any advice in that area, I would love it.
Okay. It's interesting that there are a lot of people who are in journalism, especially on the broadcast side, who also have aspirations to do filmmaking. I was actually a film major for about 20 minutes at American University, until I went into journalism. But you will see people there that do that. I highly recommend going. The Visual Task Force has its own suite, and they have these suite talks. And there is a lot of overlap. A lot of the visual journalists, they are photojournalists, they are videographers, but there are also some filmmakers in there too. So, Jada, I would reach out. Lance Washington is the chair of the Visual Task Force. If you go to the NABJ website and just type in Visual Task Force, his contact information is there, and tell him that Aunt Benet sent you.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Autumn, you're up. Elevator pitch time.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Greetings. I am Autumn Haddix. I am a rising junior at Florida A&M University studying broadcast journalism. My focus concentration is all things sports. So, and I'm currently seeking a job or internship with post-production and doing videography and photography.
Perfect. I love it. And you said the magic word. You said sports. So I want you to find me in Cleveland because I am not a sports reporter. I never have been one, but I know a lot of them, and I would love to introduce you to some of them. Anybody familiar with David Aldridge? Yes, no.
No, I'm not.
Autumn, are you kidding me?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, I went to college with David Aldridge. He is a legendary sports writer. Right now, he is head of the DC bureau for The Athletic, but he did basketball for TNT. He was at ESPN. When he graduated from American University, he was immediately hired by the Washington Post for their sports section. So he is an amazing person, very special person, but also a very nice person and loves talking to students and young people who are interested in sports. So hunt me down. And whoever put his bio in there, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and I look forward to meeting you.
Thank you. Okay. Deirdre, did you do an elevator pitch? Are you with us, Deirdre? Okay, I'm coming back to you. Jada, did you have a question? Jada, your hand is raised. So do you have a
Yes,
question?
okay. Sorry, I was struggling to get the
No
mute
worries.
button.
It's all good.
I was wondering, did you have any advice? Like, I just recently took the job that I have now, so I'm not necessarily going to a conference to look for a specific job, but how to keep in contact with people, like once you make connections, so that when you are looking for a job, like your name is somewhat in their head. Like any just advice on keeping connections with people over time and after the conference ends.
Absolutely. So you meet them at the conference, you ask them about themselves, you share some of your work, and you tell them, I would love to keep in touch after the conference. And then that's what you do. So let's say you've met someone and you did something interesting at work. I was really excited about this story. I wanted to share a link to something that I produced. Or, if you continue a conversation with someone and they said something about stories that they like, if you see one, say, oh, I just saw this and I thought it would be of interest to you. And then ask if you can have 10 minutes of their time to catch up. I always ask people for 10 minutes because Anybody can do 10 minutes. And I let them know what we're going to talk about beforehand so there's no surprises. And I will tell you 9 times out of 10, and it happens with me when people ask me to speak for 10 minutes, if the conversation is engaging, the conversation will go beyond 10 minutes. But you want to show that you're respectful of people's time. Networking is a second full-time job, everyone. I have a Google Calendar that looks like a rainbow threw up on it because I'm doing all these different things and I have a specific color. My color for networking is blueberry because I don't know why. I like that color. So use Google Calendar or whatever calendar that you use and use color coding so you know who you're talking, what you're doing and everything, and pick one color for your networking. And then you can also look back at your calendar and figure out the last time you spoke to someone. You can also put it in your notes on their contact. So, you met them at NABJ, and then in August, at the end of August, had a conversation with, and then write down what you talked about. That way you can keep up. And there are apps that do this too. So you don't have to always use your calendar, but you have to keep up with people. And the biggest thing that I say about keeping up and networking, don't reach out to people only when you want something. It is just not good. And it turns people off and it makes them less likely to want to help you. Also, don't stalk people. If they're busy, then go on to the next person and come back in a month or two. Um, Building a network, again, it's a full-time job. It takes time. You'll get used to it. You'll get a cadence that works for you. And like I told you at the beginning, a network will be there to save you when you're looking for a job. The Whispered network is very strong. One of the things I said in my resume review last week is people tend to get jobs quicker if they know somebody that works in a company that's willing to recommend them. The company I work for, we get a $2,500 bonus if we recommend people and the company hires them. That, few people, and you've covered your convention for the next couple of years. So, I don't know what other companies do, but it makes me definitely recommend people to my company. So I hope that helped.
It did. And can I ask a follow-up on that?
Sure, of course.
So last year I sent some letters, but I heard back from a few people from the snail mail that I sent, but I didn't hear back from others. Do you think that's a sign of oh, maybe they just didn't get it, or should I not reach back out to those people again? I was kind of at a loss of what to do in that situation.
Some people get the letter or the card and say, "Oh, this is great." And then they just forget. I mean, people are very busy. So, I would always follow up. If you don't hear back from someone, follow up. It does not hurt. The only thing you don't want to do is repeatedly follow up and to the point where it's stalking. You don't want to do that. But if you sent a letter and you didn't hear back after a couple of weeks up to a month, then sure, go right ahead and reach out again. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. So were there any more questions?
Yes, Ms. Wilson, I have one more question.
Sure.
So about the scheduling interviews, I scheduled a few today, and going back to something you said earlier, did you say that you may or may not be able to get into those interviews because of the lines?
No, no, no. If you've scheduled an interview, you're good. You're good. But what happens is people don't always schedule. So people are standing in line hoping that people who schedule interviews didn't show up. So if you've already scheduled something, you're good. And be there, actually not on time, be there at least 5 to 6 minutes early. Okay. Because what happens is people are talking and they kind of run out of, they kind of go over. So you want to be standing there when it's time for your interview or for your appointment.
Okay, understood. And can I ask one quick follow-up?
Sure, go right ahead.
so when I'm scheduling these interviews, I notice that you schedule them with the companies and the media companies and
Yes.
not specific stations. So do we just is it just kind of like we get picked, or we go to a certain station, they just assign us to interview with a certain station, and we don't know which station we're interviewing with?
Yes. Well, everybody does it different. I think with the bigger booths, that's what happens. And with some of the smaller booths, you might actually be speaking to like a news director or an editor or something like that. So it really depends on the booth. But no matter who it is, you'll still be ready. You'll still be able to have your talk and get your elevator pitch out and talk about the work that you're doing and what you'd like to be doing in the future.
Okay, for sure. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hi, Christina. You're up again.
Hi there. Yes, I actually had a follow-up question after Nate's question. It made me think about something. So, are we signing up ahead of time? Is there like a form or a link that we can sign up? I mean, get the interview slots ahead of time, or are we showing up, kind of getting in line to get in line to have the interview? I don't know if that makes sense, but do we have to sign up ahead of time, or are we signing up? Are we reaching out ahead of time to set up, coffees outside of that designated time that they have?
You want to set up the coffees and stuff like that outside of the conference, outside of the exhibit hall. Grant, can I ask you, do you know how this works? I haven't been in the exhibit hall in 10 years, so I really don't know exactly how it works. I mean, do you know how people sign up?
Yeah, typically when you go to each booth, they'll have like a person at the front and they'll schedule you a time to meet with a recruiter and then you'll meet with them. But like you said, if they have time outside of you meeting them at the booth, then I would always like try to set something up, whether it's at the convention or after.
I think he was like whether it's at the convention or after you get home, because you can always ask people, well, can I reach out to you the next week, the week after the convention?
I think I cut out there. Can you hear me
You
now?
did, yeah. And
Oh, okay.
I knew what you were saying, but you go ahead.
Okay. So I was saying that when you go to each booth, each company has like a person that will sign you in and give you a specific slot, or you just have to like sit around and wait until someone's available. And then once you meet with the recruiter, then like you said, I would encourage you to meet with them either outside of the exhibit hall at the convention if they have time, or try to schedule a time with them after the convention.
Yeah, that's good advice.
If I could add, there's also a link that was sent out earlier today that said career fair interview appointments are now open, so you can sign up online there.
It said they're not open?
They are open. They're
Are
now
open.
Oh,
open.
are
Yeah.
open. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can also put your resume into the portal, and that gives every recruiter at the convention access to it so that you don't have to, so that they don't have to sit there and read your resume for the first time at the convention. They can do it before, and then you guys can just talk about whatever they.
Was that link, the interview sign up slot, was that sent today? I actually did do the
I
resume
did,
thing that you mentioned.
yeah, I saw one today, but I saw one last week as well. So today might have just been a reminder from the original
Okay,
email.
thank you so much.
And again, check your spam folder because I have been finding NABJ emails going into my spam folder. So just double check that. Um, if there are no more questions, I am going to do one thing. I am going to plug a workshop that I am doing on Wednesday at 11. I have, for the past year and a half, I have been studying how journalists can use AI ethically. So I will be doing a lightning talk on all the ways that you can use AI ethically. Everything from writing headlines, because I suck at writing headlines, to you know, compressing documents to get the information that you need. You never use AI to write your stories. We all know that. But AI, like anything else, is a tool, and it's an amazing tool. If you come by, I will show you all of the stuff that I have learned in the past year and a half. So if we don't have any more questions, I'm going to throw it back to Grant and we'll close this out.
Amazing. Thank you, Aunt Benet, so much for graciously agreeing to do this. I don't know if Lauren's on the call, but last week she was here and she's going to be our new NABJ student rep after me, after I finish my term next month. But the good thing is that she's running unopposed, so we kind of got the ball rolling early on her transition. And so I hope she continues this next year because it is great to kind of brush up on those networking skills before you go to the convention. So I hope everyone took at least one thing. When I come to these sessions and when I read articles, I try to take at least one useful thing away. So I hope everyone was able to take at least one useful thing away that they can help to help them network better at the convention. So with that being said, we're going to end 9 minutes early. Thank you all for your efficient questions. And if you see me or Aunt Benet at the convention, please come up and say hi. Aunt Benet you may get a free meal out of her. You never know. So
Probably. I dropped my phone number in the chat. When you text me, I get a lot of texts. So just say, that you're an NABJ member, that you were in this thing, and we will get together. So,
all
right,
righty.
enjoy your evening, and I'll see you all in Cleveland.
Thank you. See ya. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.